There's a lot of great reasons to become a Patreon of the Mountain Mysteries and the Gatherings. Here's just a few. Did you know that the Patreon family of the Mountain Mysteries and the Gatherings gets full access to the Gatherings Contact? Now, Contact is a fully interactive private community experience. It's live on YouTube every Sunday at 8 p.m. Patreon family members also get documentaries first, plus personal one-on-ones with Stacia and myself, and behind-the-scenes footage on those documentaries so you can learn what's coming up and when. It makes scheduling easier so you'll never miss a live episode. In addition, you'll also get early episodes of the Mountain Mysteries podcast and Stacy and my thoughts behind the episodes. It's easy. Just watch The Gatherings Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Chris Sloan Media. That's on the YouTube channel. And look for the links in the chat room, or hear the Mountain Mysteries on Apple, Spotify, and, well, wherever you can find podcasts. And look in the show notes for a link to become a Patreon family member and get so much more for very little money. It's an investment. Support independent local podcasts. And always, stay mysterious.
counting sheep to pass the time. Found himself in a quandary, face to face with a lion. Just a boy in a pasture, working in the mountain air. Got more than he bargained when he came upon a bear. When the fight became impending, oh, he knew to stand his ground. He could gaze upon his history, oh, see the victory in the ground. Every stone of his remembrance would let the record show. Just a boy with conviction is no match for a foe. Just a boy in the valley, not much stronger than a sling, but he knew he was mighty when that giant came on the scene. When the fight became impending, oh, he knew to stand his ground. He could gaze upon his history, see the victory in the ground. Every stone of his remembrance would let the record show. Just a boy with conviction is no match for a foe. Oh, oh, oh,
You know, if God has a sense of humor, and I know he does, man, he is cracking up right now. This episode is in memory of a longtime family friend. His name was Jimmy Lee Van Hoos. Everybody called him Jim. Some people called him Slim Jim. Jim used to say, call me whatever you want, just call me for dinner. Turn back the clock a little bit to February the 24th, 2019. Now keep in mind, I'd known Jim since around 1983, 84, when we first moved out to where my parents had bought their first home. A little place in Kentucky called Sitka. Anyways, I'd known him that long, but that day, February of 2019, that was the day I found my dad passed away. 33 days after Mom. Well, you know that story. Here's something you didn't. Jim lived he lived in the same neighborhood. It wasn't directly across the road, but a couple of houses back. Anyways, you know, we could almost throw a rock and hit each other's house. But I'm standing outside after the EMTs and, you know, had come and pronounced or did whatever they did in the corner. I guess I had to pronounce. But anyways, I turned and there stood Jim. In the kitchen, and he put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, "Now, Bubby, you know they loved you more than anything in this world." He said, "I know that the next long time's going to be tough. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tried. But in the end, you're going to come out on top. They knew you would." And it's time for you to become what they always knew you would be. I got word during contact on Sunday via a message that he had passed. It seems like the older we get, the more we got to leave behind. That's just the way it is. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm damn sure not saying it's cool. But I am saying it hurts. I am saying that out of the billions of brain cells that people have, billions, those memory ones are tough sons of bitches to kill. And I've tried. You can't. But he told me something that day that did so much to help me get through the loss of two parents. And then a year later, a brother, a guy who was a brother to me, my best friend, Trevor Huff. And then, actually, before Trev, Ollie. I asked him, I said, Jim, how the hell do you go on after something like this? And he looked me dead in the eye and he said, honor. He said, you honor them. Make them proud of you, son. Make them proud of you. Do the things that they knew you would do. Do the things that they sacrificed for, that they knew you would do. You know, I've often wondered since then what Mom and Dad would think of the Mountain Mysteries project, the podcast, then what they would thought of the Gatherings, and what they would have thought of Contact, and what they would have thought of the videos and the emails from the people that apparently, you know, we've done some little good for. And when I was creating that video today, and I wish I'd had more, but it really didn't occur to me because I was kind of wrapped up in my own thoughts about him, of a good way to honor him. And I thought the only way I really know how to, because I'll be honest with you, I couldn't show up at the funeral. It's too much death. Back to back to back. And I thought, okay, do a video. The video represents him as a child. And if you notice, it comes full circle. The road is rough, but it's straight. It's straight because he stayed true to who he was. Anybody that knew him knew he's him and he ain't a changing. Not for love nor money. And if he liked you, he'd give you the shirt off his back. And if he didn't, he wouldn't piss on you if he was on fire. That was just him. But you knew where you stood with him, I think. He was a good friend to my dad and to my mom. So was Vicky. And so was Sean. They were a big part of my childhood growing up. You got to remember, in 83, I was 12. And that's when I met him. And I knew him from then on out. So, Jim, know that we love you. We're going to miss you like hell. And thanks for the memories, and thanks for making life better. And you did. To his family, I love you and I'm thinking about you. Good evening, dear.
Good evening.
So, I know you were watching intently on the intro because I told you that there's a new one coming, but that's coming up on Contact. I will send it to you if you want to see it. Hell, you're half of us. You and Lloyd both. So, but We've done a lot of changes for Contact coming Sunday. I mean, good stuff. And the Gatherings. I played that intro that I just played back to back for a couple of reasons. You know, mom and dad had very significant dates to me, and I think they even stand out at the gates of heaven. Dad's birthday was July
Love
1st. Their anniversary was the 2nd. And Dad always said that was the best birthday present he ever got. And I remember once Jim looking at him and saying, probably the worst one she ever got.
it.
Um, and then, of course, oddly enough, on their 57th wedding anniversary, he passed away. And I say oddly enough with respect. What I mean by that is some things aren't coincidence. I don't know how that plays out, but to me, that was a happy day for me, and now it's a happy but a somber day. If you've never experienced that emotion at the same time, let me tell you something. It's a hell of a thing. But I'll never forget those words he said to me. Honor. Live to honor them. Make them proud of you. And that's what I've tried to do since. And I hope that it works according to what came through on Contact last Sunday. Yeah, we love you, our son. I think, was that what it was? Was that what she said? Or they said? The Ovulus. She actually,
Yes.
the Ovulus detected it and picked it up and came through. But how do you wrap your mind around so much loss? Well, let me tell you something. The older I get, the more I learn. And what I have learned is, and I have people, how do you move on after this? I said, you don't move on. Not on the same path you were. Nothing will ever be the same again. Nothing. Nothing. But that doesn't mean it has to be foreboding. It doesn't mean it has to be death and dark and gloom and doom. You take those memories and you keep those memories alive. And how do you do that? Well, you do it by thinking about them. And right now, at first, and it may be for the first week, it may be for the first month, the first year, the first freaking decade, it may hurt too much to think about it. That is as different as people are different. It's different for every individual how you do this. For me, I'm just now getting used to seeing certain things that I know my mom liked and not breaking down. Now I smile. And it's been 4 years for me. I just recently started getting back and riding more frequently again on the Harley because that was such a big thing for me and Dad. Before that, hell, I sold 2 of them.
Hear that?
And now I'm starting to ride a little more often again. And now when I look in that side view mirror, when I'm going down the road at whatever speed, there for just a second, I always catch a glimpse of Dad or Trev, but it doesn't make me sad anymore. It actually makes me feel good because I know that wherever I go, they're with me. Now we got a third because Jim had a Harley. He loved to ride. And he and I rode together a time or two. Great rider. And he was never one for not making somebody laugh at a stop. And it would be something downright goofy. But I'm telling you what, he'd make you laugh. He always had a joke. Even if it was at my expense. Of course, I would crack him at his expense too. It didn't matter. But that's how we were. People. Everyday people. Having a good time. So we go on and we live. And some days you got to remember, you take one breath after the other and you put one foot in front of the other and you just make yourself move forward. I know that all too well. But you can do it. You're worth it. You've got more to offer this world than just sadness. There's enough of that going around. So take whatever time you need and be sad, but reach out for people. There's people there. Everybody has somebody there that cares about them, that loves them, that'll be there for them. And if you ain't,
Jim, did you hear that?
to quote Tom Skerritt in Top Gun, call me. I'll fly with you. We've been to the lowest of lows. Now maybe it's time to go and soar a little bit. I heard Jim on the box.
You sure did.
And the reason that we do this, and it's like I tell you, when you think about things, my parents came through Sunday night. When you think about people, and that's what these, I hate the word ghosts. Spirit is better for me personally, spirits, because that's what they are. They're people. They're just without this crude form. I heard it said on the Ovilus last weekend in such a way that my parents said it. They would always say, "Love you, our son," when I was leaving the house. Or dad would call me baby boy. Funny because one of my best friends to this day, Chris Greathouse, calls me the same thing. And I don't even think he had any idea. It just kind of happened. It's something to have people that love you, respect you, and care about you for simply who you are. Not for what you can do for them, but for who you are. And I can't speak for anybody else in this group, but I'm so damn sick and tired of having people tell me one thing just because of what I can do for them. Here's what I want to do for everybody. Show love, show respect, and maybe, just maybe, offer some hope. And maybe get a little of that back in return. Because if we're not here for each other, then why the hell are we here? I'm sorry, but I can't help but think when God made more than just one person, He knew in advance, well in advance, that we would need each other, all of us. And have you ever stopped to think what kind of a place it'd be if we all realized that and just put forth a grain of effort? Maybe on a day when we're not feeling good, offer a smile, send a text. Stacy's done it to me. I've done it to Stace. Done it to Lloyd a time or two. Hey, thinking about you. Love you. Tell Stace, you look, you're just beautiful. You're a wonderful person. Stacy, has it ever failed to hit at the right moment when you needed it most? It doesn't fail. Everybody would like to hear that. And I'm no different. I don't need to be told I'm beautiful. I know
But
I'm
you
cute.
are.
I know I'm cute in a snuggly, adorable kind of way, like a teddy bear. But that little kind word of encouragement can help somebody so far. Because believe me, you have no idea what somebody else may be fighting or facing or going through that very second. And they may just be thinking about saying, to hell with it all. Well, I'm here to say, don't. I read a post today that really broke my heart from a person I've known for a while. It said, "I'm just tired of trying. I'm ready to give up." Don't give up. Listen, if you've got a dream, God gave that to you for a reason. Nobody said it'd be easy. But look at it this way. If it's so easy, it's not really going to be a good thing. Because what are you learning if you're not being challenged? When you're challenged, you learn things. Those things put you a step above. They put you on top. They make you a little better, a little smarter. And that's information that you can pass down to the next person, because let me tell you, we should never look down on another person unless we're giving them a hand up. Don't make excuses, make results. Those things are vital. And when you get where you want to be, help somebody else get there. You're looking at a guy who, by all means, should probably be living in a gutter somewhere. I was actually told by a certain teacher, parentheses, S, parentheses, that I'd never amount to anything and I'd either be homeless or dead by the time I was in my mid-20s. Well, I am 52. And as you can see, I'm blessed. I'm not homeless and I'm not dead. We're actually doing pretty good, all things considered. I had this dream. I used to play. I'd run a speaker into my little brother's room, play a record. Like I was on the radio. Some years later, look up there in your corner. Oh, or right there on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Most everybody around this area knows who they are. Most. I was a big part of that family for a long time. And now it seems like it's coming back to that again. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I love it. It's like Trevor Huff told me once, you can run from who you are all you want to, but until you stop and face it, you ain't never going to get away from it. He said, you can be this or that all day long. He said, but in your heart, you are radio. You are, in your core, you're supposed to be behind a microphone. Anybody that hears you knows that. You're supposed to be doing something with one of those things. And I remember my exact classy response to him. You're full of shit. Well, I have been wrong before. And he told me that my first and best destiny was behind a microphone. And of course, me, I had to make a joke about it. I said, yeah, radio. I got a face for it too. Trev didn't smile because he was trying to make a point. Don't run from who you are. Embrace your dreams. Follow them. Look what it's brought together here. Stacia and I hadn't seen each other in a month of Sunday. I don't know how long it had been. And I hadn't seen Lloyd since high school. And Lloyd and I in high school, we didn't run in the same cliques, I don't believe. I knew who he was. See him in the hallway from time to time. Hey, what's up? Now he's like a brother to me. It's amazing. Like Mom said, if you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans. Trust me, he'll get a kick out of that one. I had made a quote, and I cut off my video a little too early on it. But the quote was this: it's amazing who you will meet along the way to becoming who you are supposed to be. And Jim was one of those people for me. Never had any idea. So thank you.
And you learned something new about him tonight, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Which does not surprise me. Mm-hmm. But, he was the first person I ever interviewed. It was a gag thing. A buddy of mine had got one of these new things back in the 80s. They were called camcorders. Yeah. Kind of looked like a big boom box. They were so big then. And he said, well, let's go interview somebody. Let's go. He said, you played news guy. And I was like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old maybe. And if Sean sees this, she may remember it. Or Vicky. I'm waiting for that box to fire up and say, oh, yeah. Because it was right around the holiday season, and I bothered him at home, and he opened the door when I knocked on it, and he said, yeah, what's wrong? What's going on? And he looked, and he saw that camcorder, and he just did this. He did. Face palm, baked. And, of course, I did my little interview thing, and he said, you ain't got the brains God gave a rock. But a few days later, he looked at me, he said, you might be onto something there. He said, that was pretty cool. Years later, after interviewing people like Taylor Dane, Brett Michaels, Jeff Dunham, I don't know, the list goes on. Eddie Money, took him back to Charleston. Got to actually sing a couple of songs with him when Q95 had him in concert. I guess that was in 98, 99, something like that. I think back to that now, and I was like, how did they? Because if somebody had told me when I was 15 or 16, you're going to hang out with Taylor Dane, you're going to drive her around Prestonsburg while she gets calmed down before a concert. Taylor Dane? Stage fright? Oh, yeah, she had it. Don't know why. Didn't ask. Got in the car. She turned up the air conditioner. She just said drive, and I said, "Baby, I'll drive you anywhere you want to go. That's where we go to Lexington if you want." So it's got a few smiles out of her, a few laughs. And Eddie Money, who told me I had a Napoleon complex. I don't care to share it because it's true. Back then, I did. I was a jerk. Thought that I was king of the hill. I wasn't. But by the time we got to Charleston, we were buddies. We were singing together. We sung "Walk on Water" and "Two Tickets to Paradise." I got to do that with Eddie Money. Got to be on the air with Rick D. What kind of a life, what kind of a blessed life have I lived? Oh my God, I don't even know where to start, how to start thanking God or Gorm or all these other people who've made it possible, because I learned something from everybody along the way, and Jim was right there in it too. So tonight I say thank you to him and acknowledge that without others, there's no way on earth I could have pulled any of this off alone. We all saw what happened when Stacy came into the Gatherings. When she came onto the Gatherings, it exploded. Before then, yeah, I had a few people watch. And let me get up on my little soapbox. I still do that sometimes, yeah. But Stacy's there to bring me down. She sings me down, as it were. But this isn't a soapbox tonight. This is a thank you to every single person who ever listened to me on the air. To every single person behind the scenes, like the Jim Van Hooses, the Mom and Dads, the Mike Barbers, the Paul Fifes, the Gorman Collins Juniors, the people that made it possible. I'm humbled. I go back to the words of J. Paul Getty, and then we'll proceed. If I ever appear to be larger than life, it is because I stand upon the shoulders of giants. How's it been today, honey?
Well, first of all, I'd like to add a little something onto that. Thank you for everything that you do and have done, and for all the people that you have done so much for that you don't even know. Thank you for everything.
I love you guys.
We love you.
I do.
And I know that everybody here agrees with me. You are awesome. You are a force. And
Like
you
I
got
said,
me too, so that's you're not doing too.
that's a big help. Actually, that's a huge help. It's like Mom said. She said, "Your gift is from God. What you do with it is a gift back to Him."
Absolutely.
And that's what I want it to be looked at as. This isn't. This gift is from. It's not Chris. It's God. Because I ask Him, and I want Him to work through me. Be it whether it's managing homes, or whether it's behind a microphone. If I can make one person say, maybe tomorrow will be better.
And you
maybe,
have.
maybe I don't need to be thinking what I'm thinking, and it be a bad thought, a thought that could end your life. I'm begging you, please don't ever do that. God is real. He is so very real. And He loves you. He loves you enough that He sent the only child He ever had to die for you. So don't give up hope. Turn to Him. If you can't get out, if you need a more, a verbal response, you got Stace, you got me, Lloyd. We've all been down.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Excuse me, allergies today.
Bless you.
But thank you. But don't. And remember, no matter what anybody tells you, don't ever let anybody dictate your worth. You are worth it. You are good enough. And I don't just say that to hear generic phrases coming out of my mouth. I think every human being that draws breath upon this earth has the force and the potential for good. And how do you apply that good? By helping your fellow man, your fellow woman, helping a child. Being a decent human being. It costs absolutely nothing. But it pays so much. And it's not hard to do. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can. So can you. But never give up hope. Hope is alive. Even in these times. Hope is alive. Has it been active today there, dear?
Well, we came in and I haven't been in here any earlier than usually. I'm in here a lot, but I haven't been today is what I'm trying to say. Came in and one of the dolls that I've had for a little bit, I keep plastic on its little hands because it's really old. Anyway, both pieces of plastic were in the floor and the hands were chewed off.
Speaking of which, on our promo, on the description of what tonight's episode was about, I'd like to pick a doll. Actually, I'd like for you to choose. And tell me a little bit about the history, because, we've got another appearance coming up on the 17th at Estill County. It's 606 Paranormal presenting the Haunted Doll.
Forgot about it. He said he's
Did you forget about it already?
Well, no, it's just there's been a lot going on for the last couple of days or so, and kind of just, slipped my mind.
I understand. If you need to talk, you got my number.
Oh, yeah.
And I know where Lexington's at, brother. I will come to your house. We'll sit back and drink a cold beer and tell lies about fishing and women. Or the time I rebuilt the
stories about that.
Tractor. Which I don't even know how to start.
I used to set him up with my girlfriends back in the day.
Huh?
I used to set him up with my girlfriends back in the day.
Now that would be interesting to hear about.
I sure did.
Lloyd sat back here going, "No, we're not going down that road." No.
Listen, we've been friends for how many years? Since
I came back, make the best relationships. They do. Yeah. They make the best.
Since I came back, he ran me. I was driving back through the plaza. I was going to get something to drink or something. He flagged me over, and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want to race that car?" And I'm like, and all the other guys were
like, "You don't ask Stacy if she wants."
That's Grady's sister. That's Grady's sister.
I know it. You just don't.
And I'm like, "Sure, I'll race you."
Yeah, that's exactly.
Bone stock.
Bone stock.
So we went out to Hubie's because it was in the middle of the day. We didn't usually go out to 460 until it was a little bit later. So I took him down to Hubie's.
Wasn't so strong, yep.
Yeah, this was our first meeting. I took him down to Hubie's and wore him out.
Mm-hmm. I don't doubt it. Camaro?
No, I was in TA Formula.
Oh, the Trans Am. Okay, yeah, the TA Formula. I remember that car.
Black one with the T-tops, yeah. Did I beat you?
It was sharp.
I don't recall.
Convenient how that happens, isn't it, Lloyd? I don't really remember how that played out, but yeah.
Yeah, she beat me. Bad. And then I got out and kicked my car, so it was pretty bad.
I said, he must be crazy.
Good times for Stace, bad times for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
It was fun.
So I went back to the plaza, and he went back and, of course, everybody followed us out there to, watch it.
Yeah, just to see who was going to take what, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then I got accused of having sneaky peek bottles and everything, and I'm like, you know what?
Did you? It wouldn't be the first time you had such a thing.
Normally I would have a bottle somewhere, but no. I had just got the car.
I know you had that little go fast switch in there. On some of them. I remember at least I think the Camaro had one, didn't it?
My 6-speed Z28, I had the juice on that one in the back seat.
That's what we call the go fast Z, yeah, because it would move. That thing busted a Corvette, if I'm not mistaken. It smoked a Corvette.
I just about busted everything I could. We took it down the track and it ran 12s right out the gate before anything else was done to it. And I mean, back then, you buy something like that bone stock that runs 12s, you're cooking.
Oh yeah, you're smoking. And that was a 350. Was that LT1?
LT1.
Yep. Meaner than meaner than a night in the Los Angeles County lockup.
That was a good car.
Yeah, trust me. Most people would rather try to shave a bobcat's ass in a phone booth than try to run that car. There were some guys that tried. I don't know that you got beat in it, did you?
Did anybody? I don't think anybody outrun me that we've that I've raised. No, I mean, but now there's been people come from Michigan to run me. They'll
Mm-hmm.
come and knock on the door at 2 a.m. Hey, you want to? I'm like, yeah, let me throw some clothes on. We'll be out
God, to
there
be young and dumb again. I'd
with
love
all
that.
that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now somebody come wake me up at 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm going to kill you.
Every time I see a little kid run by, I'm like, hey, can I buy some of that energy? I just want to
Yeah,
bottle a little bit of it. I'll retire in Bora Bora. I mean, with the umbrella drinks and stuff. But yeah, I think that everybody can relate to that. But we had our days. I mean, my thing was racing bikes, and yeah, I got in a few races in the car, and won a few and lost a few. And now my idea of if I'm cruising down the highway at 70 or 80 on the Harley, that's fine. They want to go by me, go by me. I don't care. I
that's
just
right.
want to get to where I'm going in one piece. Because
I'm going
when
to
I taught the
retire.
classes, I had a girl ask me, "Can you do tricks?" And I said, "Honey, getting to where you're at in one piece, that's a trick. That's the trick, and that's what I'm going to teach you to do this weekend. Stay alive." That was the only trick I knew.
Chris,
Yeah,
I'm going to retire to a boring.
boring, boring. That's just down the road, up the place from Aunt Grace's, down the Honda or down yonder a little. Yeah, boring, boring. Yeah, yeah. At this point, man, I'd take Cave Run. I'd be fine. So I'd be happy with
with
that.
my prune juice cocktail.
Prune juice cocktail. God have mercy. We got to check out the chat, and then we'll get the box rolling for a little spell. Say hey to everyone in there, and thanks a lot for
Sorry,
joining us
guys.
tonight. Summer's in there, Barry, Tracy, Steph, Helen. We've
Hello,
got a thing with
everybody.
Helen. She would like to hear from her dad. Of course, that happens on the contact. But we're going to share some information with you, Stace. So Sunday, we can
Yeah.
see if we can reach out to
Yes.
her dad and
Hey,
hopefully hear
yeah.
back from
Hey,
him.
just let me know.
And we're like hairs and biscuits. We won't stop until, of
You
course.
know it.
Also, we've got let's see, Barry, Carrie Blevins. Hello, Carrie. It's always great to see you. Angela Oakes. We are still working on getting a hold of Fern too. We'll be doing that Sunday on Contact.
Open invitation.
Um, Open invitation to anybody, and just do exactly what Helen did to me today. She reached out to me this morning and said, "Hey, I'd like to get a hold of my dad if I could. He passed when Helen was very young, so we are going to try to make contact because I really think that that's a very big thing to know who we are by where we came from. I think that that's
Right.
a really good deal. That's a really big deal. And Brooke Casey is in there, of course. Hello, Brooke.
Brookie.
Um, yeah, Brookie, as I call her. Crystal Burks is there. Hello, Crystal. And of course, Barry is really cool about saying hey to everybody as they come in. Barry is kind of like an ambassador, like Lloyd. Barry and Lloyd are ambassadors for Chris Sloan Media and the 606 Paranormal. Yeah, Helen said that he was 3 when she passed. So with that being said, Stace, if you want to fire up the box for a spell, we'll get it going and see
I'm going to
what comes
turn
through. Now,
up.
keep in mind, contact is when you reach out to us and we reach out to them. But if somebody comes through on the gatherings, we're certainly not going to try to stop that.
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's not the way this works. So, Stace, dear, let me switch sides, and
Great.
the floor is all yours.
Let me put it down here.
Okay.
Just in case we get any extra out of the dolls. You know how that always works. I'll put it on the portal here. Okay, the portal is open if anybody wants to come through. I heard you earlier talking about Jim. Can you come through and talk to us?
What do you want?
Whoa.
What do you want?
That sounds like Jim. It does.
We want to talk to anybody who has a message or needs us. Does anybody have a message for anybody in our chat room?
How did you get here?
Through a device called a ovulus or a spirit communication box. We don't mean you any harm,
We're
and
as
we're
close
certainly
as
not
we
trying
can.
to aggravate you.
We're as close as we can get, dear.
Where are you?
I'm right here. Do you have a message for somebody? Or do we have a guide that can help us?
He really does sound like Jim.
Inquisitive.
Hmm.
Camera.
Yes, I do have a camera. None of this equipment will hurt you, but we can hear you talk. So you are more than welcome to come through. Any family members of our people in the chat here, you can come through. You know, you always have an open invitation.
Any of these devices that you see, they will not harm you or us, hopefully. Want to talk? Yes.
Yes, you can talk.
Wow. My name's Lloyd.
You can talk anytime you want to. You can come through.
This is Stacy. And we just want to try to talk to you.
Chris is on the other end there. You can see him in there.
And all the other people are listening and have questions and would like to communicate.
So you have nothing to be afraid of.
Except for dolls.
No.
And this is why we call him #ScaredLloyd.
Brandon.
Brandon? Is your name Brandon?
Younger. 40. You can enter. This is this.
Is your name Brandon?
Easy to pop.
Hey, Janine. Good to see you.
Where are we? Hell.
Did you hear
Wow.
that?
Yeah.
He said,
where
where
are
are we? One said, what hell?
Yeah.
I hope you are not in hell. If you are, I don't know how you're talking to us.
No, he wouldn't be able to. No. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the absence of God and everything.
Right. Can you tell me what happened to the doll's hands in here? Does anybody happen to know what happened?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody know what happened?
Look.
Can you tell me? Who was responsible for that? Two of them. Two of them. Can you tell me what you're talking about? I may have to turn that fan down. What do you think?
In danger.
Great.
Are you in danger? There's our famous music player there. Are you in danger?
Castle. Please listen.
I'm listening.
Are you talking about someone's name or the building a castle?
Earlier it told me to please listen, and then it said Jim. Remember that?
Let me show you.
Okay, I'm going to close my eyes, and you can show me. I think I know what's going on with that. I think.
Oh,
Let
no.
me message Chris real quick.
I'm standing by. I have the private chat pulled up. And hi to Heather Kiesling, who just joined us.
Hello.
Welcome. Okay, just wanted you to be on the same page with that. I was talking about that earlier, just in case.
I'm thinking I do.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can tell me after the broadcast.
Okay, hang on.
And Robin joins us. Okay, yeah, I do know who you're talking about. I do believe, yeah. Yeah, I do, I believe, yeah.
Did. Say.
Oh, no.
No thanks.
Did.
Why is she here?
Why is who here?
Can you be a little more specific?
Me? Her.
No,
Gotcha.
the spirit.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking that also.
If you
Is
answer why is who here, maybe we can tell you.
who are you talking about? Is there someone else coming through on the other box that you don't like?
Oh, come on now, tell the truth and shame the devil.
Mm-hmm.
No time to be getting quiet.
Whoa.
Mary?
Mary?
Demon? Mary? Demon? Mary?
Oh, no.
Put away the... What should I put away?
Let's start with the dolls.
It's been around. I see you.
Can you see me? What color shirt do I have on?
Worry.
What?
Did she say gray?
It sounded like it.
What color shirt are you wearing, Stace?
I have a black and gray shirt on.
Okay.
Oh,
Count.
crap. You doodle.
You're okay.
Yeah, but as soon as it said that, or before it
You
said
remember
that,
last week, or on the contacts, you remember every time
Leaving other.
it would answer me straight back.
Yes, it would.
It was crazy the other night. I mean, it was so active.
House.
Yes, we're in a house.
Guys, seriously, if you're not a member, a patron, or a Patreon, you need to see Contact. I mean, last weekend it was Sunday night, it was mind-blowing. I mean, there was tears flying, snot slinging, and people shaking all. It was.
That's the truth.
It was. It was one of the most. I can't explain it. It was.
it was very personal.
It was
It was
very,
such a
very
show.
personal, especially for me, and
Yeah.
other people too. Yeah.
It was.
But I'm not the only one.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna turn
Link
off-
is in the chat. If somebody that's not a member wants to join, right there it is. It's under host. We also had several warnings Sunday too.
Oh, no.
I don't like that.
Inevitable? What's inevitable?
Save yourself.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness.
Start.
Well, now he's getting nasty.
Okay, time to go get coffee.
Confused.
Confused.
Are you confused? What are you confused about?
Are You having a
You
hard
guys
time?
are getting a very, very, very tiny taste of what happened last week.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good point right there that Steph just brought up. Is that the new doll talking? Well, it could be any one of them, I think. It could be Reagan. It could be.
Take your pick.
Do we have, what's her name?
Roselle?
Or Christina
Yeah.
or whatever you called her?
No, actually, we don't. She's
Okay.
became lost on the way to getting here.
She ain't lost. She's stalking somebody.
I'm telling you something.
Grandfather.
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 Whose grandfather? Polly is what Helen thinks.
That was
Whose grandfather?
Ooh,
We all have grandfathers.
Polly.
Yeah, that's what Helen thinks. Helen's feeling Polly.
Yeah, well, she's right here with my left leg right here, and I'm getting the
I can't
coldest.
speak.
What?
You can.
You
And you
can?
are.
More.
Oh,
What?
no.
What did that say?
Sounded like she said more. Or the voice said more.
All right. It's time to switch bands. I'm going to put little
I'm
Polly
thinking
over
about switching
here.
like garbage cans.
Well, that definitely triggered a response of some kind now, didn't it?
Play with me.
No, I will.
Oh
absolutely
my
not.
gosh.
No.
Well, welcome to the big show.
Where are you?
Not.
Tracy, look at that.
We're all sitting right here. Can you tell me,
Kate.
Kate? Can you tell me, were you talking for Polly?
Okay, her eyes just look. She's got that whole Stepford Wives thing going on.
Holly.
Oh my goodness.
Did she just say it said Polly?
Yes.
It said Polly.
Wow.
Are you acting as the voice of Polly? Or are you Polly?
Okay, this is. Okay. I'm getting a little
Framed.
freaked out.
Oh, I'm telling you, you guys, you've not seen anything. For whatever reason on Contact, it's this times 2, 3. So far it has been anyways. Now I say that, and Sunday it'll be quiet as a church mouse.
What can you tell me about Polly?
Wow, Barry, really?
Listen to me.
No.
She does. I think
She
she does.
does kind of look like Melissa. What was her name? Melissa Sue Anderson?
Yeah, that's it.
You know, the character, I forget the character's name now.
Mary, or not Mary. Was it Mary?
Mary Wilder, yeah.
Yeah, Laura and Mary.
Yeah. Stephanie
I thought
said
she was
Millie
a
Olson.
1970s.
What?
1970s. Little House on the Prairie. That's when it aired.
Oh, no.
You never do like these
Device.
smart answers, huh?
Oh.
Well, Lloyd, if you're looking for dumb answers, call me after the show and I'll give you all kinds of them. I mean, I'm the
Point.
king of that.
No way.
Everybody see this mask right here?
Yes.
Okay. I've been told by probably 3 people that this changes its face. It distorts. Better keep your eye on that because I just noticed something myself.
Angie,
Oh,
wow.
great. That's closer to me.
Mhm.
What more would I want?
If I know you, probably to be somewhere else. There's a closet back there with a rack of clothes in it. You can hide behind.
You get behind the curtains over there in the corner.
I'm thinking I'm going to get coffee.
Hey, coffee's good. I've just killed a cup
I'm
in my
hiding.
official Mountain Mysteries coffee mug.
I'm hiding.
Shameless plug.
It said I'm hiding. Well, I'm not going to ask you where you're hiding.
Games.
Games.
Do you like
Are you,
games?
or are you playing games?
Pathetic. What's pathetic?
100.
100.
I guess.
And that's not the Ovilus. That's the spirit box coming through, isn't it, Stace?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the portal's off.
The only thing on the spirit box is jumbled syllables. So for something, did that doll just move?
What?
Polly
No.
just moved.
Shut up.
I don't think so. Did she? I didn't notice.
Yeah, did anybody else in the chat notice that? Because I just happened to be looking away because I'm
God,
posting
don't
chat.
say that. Don't. No, wait.
Hang
No.
on, I'm making sure she's not slipping or sliding down.
Mm-hmm. It could have very well been that, but I thought I saw
No,
her.
she's still sitting straight up, and I'm pushing
Okay.
on her.
Oh, no.
Did she like slide down?
Stephanie said yes, she did move.
Okay. Well, I'm pushing as hard as I can.
She kind of went from my viewpoint over to the right just ever so slightly. She turned towards Lloyd.
You can be here, yes.
I can't take this. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
What's that mask that I told you?
I'm watching that doll. I'm watching.
Yeah, me too. Maybe she's trying to scoot down and get in your lap, babe.
No, she's not.
Too many to count.
What?
I'm waiting on a voice to come through and say, "Hey, Lloyd, you want some action?"
Many to count or something.
Don't make me pee on myself.
The number is unclear.
A number is unclear.
Mm-hmm. I could have said something really bad right there, but I didn't. I just let it go. there are kids watching, so I'm not going down that road.
Log.
Trying to be a decent human being for Pete's sake.
Hey. I
In
swear.
danger.
Okay.
Harold?
My eyes are doing something.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
But okay, what is it that you don't like?
That's me moving the camera, guys.
Okay,
It was crooked.
Helen Prater, run.
He's done arguing, with it, and this is
Meantime,
my
Robin
shadow.
and Tracy are back here
mine.
having a big old day.
That's
Look
my
at Tracy.
shadow.
Inside.
Yes, they're inside.
You said you were hiding. Are you hiding inside?
Inside the dolls?
I'm going to put Polly back up. You have anything to say about that? Anything to say about Polly before I put her up? An infant. See, it said an infant.
Oh, no.
Was she connected to an infant, or are you talking about Lars? Because we think he may have come over with an infant.
Mm-hmm.
Or been packed in one, something.
That trunk.
Yep, it's still here.
You still have it outside?
Yep.
Yippee!
I don't blame you.
I think we need to send it to your place, Chris, so you can hold it.
Strong.
I ain't got no desire for that. I ain't lost nothing in that trunk.
Beside you.
Beside you, Lloyd. Beside you.
They're always beside me.
That's what it just said, beside you. The dog growled. Did you hear that?
Great.
Yeah.
Was that Enzo or the pup?
Nope, that was Puppy Poo.
Puppy? Okay.
That was Miss Weenie Pup. Oh my gosh.
What'd he
Weenie.
say?
Weenie.
So that was Weenie.
That was great. Yeah, that's her name's
Living room.
Living room.
What?
in the living room, huh? So is that where you're hiding out at?
Listening.
They're listening.
Listening. Okay, yeah. Guys, light up the chat room. Tell us what you're thinking about this.
Who's listening?
Yeah, good question.
Is it somebody we know? Start this one up and try and see what we get on this.
Oh,
Lloyd, well, it sucks. Go in the living room, Lloyd. It's waiting for you to get into your skivvies. So,
Blessed.
and start eating your
Blessed.
peanut butter crackers. So that's
We are blessed. Yes.
very blessed.
What's your question? Can you tell me what your question is? What? I think it said father. Father. Bill. Fire. Okay. Lars. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you hear somebody call your name, little girl? Did you hear the whisper? Did you hear the whispering? Barry says, I thought it said fop. Oh, wow. Here, she said she protects you. Okay. There you go.
Hi, Cookie. Hi.
Can you tell me what Lloyd's got? Dog.
Shut
I had
up.
3 of them said dog.
Dog. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cute.
Weenie is, yeah, she's so adorable.
That one said dog too and said cute.
I just want to reach out and pet her and love on her.
Hey, Weenie Peenie.
Hi, Weenie.
Hi, this is Mrs. This is.
That's the Slenderman. That's what Faith calls her. Lloyd. Hey, what's Lloyd holding again?
What?
She said your name, plain as day. What's she doing? Yes. There's that little girl again. Hi, you've been coming through off and on. Can you tell me your name? Can you give me your name? Yep, the name. I want to thank everybody for coming through for us tonight. We want everybody to go forth. You don't have to be scared. We'll always help you. I'm going to close everything up in love and light and say thank you. All right.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Barry said, "Call me crazy," but it seems like since Polly's come along, Lars is kind of chilled out.
I don't know what is going on. Yeah, I've not even really put anything on him, but I don't know what's going on with them beating him up.
Something isn't right, or something isn't what we thought.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Anyways, if you think tonight was, I'm serious, contact is makes this look like child's play. It's incredible what happened Sunday, but it's getting definitely more and more. It's like a buildup. I don't know how else to describe it.
That's true.
Um,
Personal.
One more time, if anybody is interested and you're not already, you can become a patron. Um, the $5 and $10 tiers get you access to everything. $10 tiers, max tier. That's one-on-ones with Stace and I, Lloyd. That's the whole ball of wax. And like Helen said, Sunday was absolutely amazing. It was, and it wasn't just that. It was very, very personal. Not just for me, but for everyone. So, but with that being said, Stace, wonderful job this evening,
Thank
and
you.
thank you
Thank you for being
so
here.
much. And thank you so much. And our next outing, of course, is Sunday, Patreon only. So feel free to join up with Patreon. And what have you got to lose? Try it for a month. See for yourself what we're talking about. Plus, you get behind the scenes stuff with the Mountain Mysteries episodes. You get stuff like that before anybody else. You get to see the documentaries and our thoughts behind the scenes long before we ever talk about it on Gatherings. So, yeah, join up. Like I said, $5 and $10 tiers. That's where the good stuff lies. $3 is just a way of saying, hey, have a coffee on us. We appreciate it. And we appreciate the biggest support is you telling other people about it and having other people come in, because our numbers are steadily growing. They're staying up there. And that's great because more people are learning about things that we only thought were at one time fairy tales. Well, to quote Ed Warren, the fairy tale is true. Demons exist, angels exist, and our own destinies greatly depend upon who we elect to follow. That's true.
Enzo.
That's very true. How's Enzo doing, by the way?
He's sitting over here. He's just kind of, I don't know if he's growling or what, but something's going on.
All right. Well,
Guess
we'll
we'll
let
find
that
out.
go then. And Sunday at 8 o'clock, we'll be back. Of course, when you sign up for Patreon, you'll get a link in the messages. And all you got to do is click that link and you go right to it. The link is already established for this Sunday. She's ready to go. And of course, you're going to see some new stuff on there Sunday. And it's all in an effort to make it worth your while and to make it worth the investment, because we are sincerely appreciative of your faith in us enough to put some of your money behind it. So thank you for helping keep the ball rolling and helping us keep this thing going and helping us pass the message out there that this is real. Life after this does continue, and we will see the ones that we love again one day, hopefully down the road. But that's in God's hands. That's in God's timing. So until then, we love you, and remember, you are worth it. Don't ever think you're not. Live, experience hope, experience joy, honor those who've gone on before us. Live your life to honor them and to honor yourself. I'm Chris Lone for Lloyd and Stacia Gullett. And until next time, we love you. May God bless you. And as always, stay mysterious. Good night.